The church doors burst open just as the priest asked if anyone objected to our union. Maya, my boss of 4 years and secret lover for 8, stormed in, her face twisted in fury, screaming that I couldn't marry him because I belonged to her. The gasps echoed through the pews as my fiancé's ring slipped from my finger, clattering to the floor like the pieces of my carefully constructed life. I stood there, frozen in my white gown, the lace suddenly feeling like chains. How had it come to this? 4 years I'd balanced on the knife's edge of deception, loving Maya in the shadows while pretending to build a future with David. He was safe, acceptable, the kind of man my conservative family in suburban Chicago adored. But Maya, she was fire, passion, the one who made my heart race with a single glance across the office. Now everything was exposed and the fallout was immediate. Whispers turned to shouts. My mother fainted in the front row, her dreams of grandchildren evaporating. David stared at me, betrayal etching deep lines on his face. "Samantha, is this true?" he demanded, his voice cracking. In my mind, I replayed the nights we'd stolen away, Maya and I, in dimly lit hotel rooms or her high-rise apartment overlooking the city. She'd whisper promises of a future where we didn't have to hide, where her family's expectations and society's judgments wouldn't matter. But those were just words, weren't they? I'd convinced myself that marrying David was the right choice, a way to escape the constant fear of being discovered. Yet here she was destroying it all. Why now? After 8 years of secrecy, why claim me in front of everyone? My thoughts swirled in chaos as ushers tried to escort her out. She fought them, her eyes locked on mine, pleading and accusing all at once. "Sam, don't do this," she yelled. "You know it's a lie." The ceremony dissolved into pandemonium. Guests murmured about scandals, about how I'd been her personal assistant at the advertising firm. Always so dedicated. If only they knew the half of it. David pulled me aside in the vestry, his hands shaking. "How long?" he asked, and I couldn't lie anymore. 8 years, I whispered. His face crumpled, and he walked out without another word, leaving me to face the wreckage alone. My father approached, his expression a mix of disappointment and rage. "What have you done, Samantha? This isn't you. This is unnatural." The word hit like a slap, echoing the sermons from my childhood church, where love like mine was condemned. That night, I fled to a motel on the outskirts of the city, my wedding dress crumpled in the trunk. Maya called relentlessly, but I ignored her. How could I trust her after this? She'd promised discretion, sworn we'd figure it out together. But her impulsiveness had cost me everything. My family, my fiancé, my reputation. In the mirror, I saw a woman unmasked, raw and vulnerable. Was this freedom or ruin? The question haunted me as I lay awake, replaying the day's horrors. Deep down, I knew this was only the beginning. The secrets we'd buried were surfacing, and the price for our love was steeper than I'd imagined. The next morning, my phone buzzed with messages from work colleagues. Rumors had spread like wildfire through the firm. "Is it true about you and Maya?" one asked. I didn't respond. Instead, I drove to her office, heart pounding. She was waiting in her corner suite, the Chicago skyline mocking our turmoil. "Sam, I'm sorry," she said as I entered, but her eyes showed no regret, only defiance. "I couldn't let you throw us away." Us? There had never really been an us in the light of day. She'd kept me hidden, a convenient escape from her own pressures. A wealthy family that expected her to marry well, to continue the legacy. "You ruined my life," I spat, tears streaming. "David was good for me. He was normal." Maya stepped closer, her presence still intoxicating despite everything. "Normal? Is that what you want? To pretend forever?" Her voice was low, intense. I thought of my parents' calls, their pleas to come home and fix this. The societal weight pressed down, the judgmental stares, the lost friendships. But in her gaze, I saw the woman who'd awakened me, who'd shown me love beyond conventions. Yet betrayal lingered. "You could have talked to me," I said. "Instead, you exploded everything." She reached for my hand, but I pulled away. "I panicked," she admitted. "Seeing you in that dress. It felt like losing you." For a moment, vulnerability cracked her facade, reminding me of our early days. We'd met at a networking event in New York, where she was the rising star in advertising. I was fresh out of college, eager and naive. Our connection was instant, electric. But she warned me. My world isn't ready for this. So we hid, building a life in fragments. I became her assistant to stay close, enduring the charade. Now with everything shattered, I had to decide. Fight for us or walk away. As I left her office, uncertainty gnawed at me. The city buzzed below, indifferent to my pain. Little did I know this was just the spark. The real fire was coming from unexpected quarters. Back at my apartment, the silence was deafening. Boxes of wedding gifts mocked me from the corner. Unopened reminders of a life derailed. My mind raced through the what-ifs. What if I'd never met Maya? What if I'd suppressed those feelings, married David, and played the part? But deep inside, I knew that would have been a slower death. A soul-crushing conformity to expectations that never fit. Still, the cost was mounting. My sister called, her voice laced with concern and judgment. Sam, Mom's devastated. She thinks this is a phase, something Maya's influenced you into. Influenced? As if my love was a choice, a whim. The word stung, fueling the internal storm. Was I the victim here, or the architect of my own downfall? I met Maya that evening in a quiet cafe on the north side, away from prying eyes. She looked exhausted, her usual poise frayed. "We need to talk about what happens next," she said, stirring her coffee endlessly. Next? There was no roadmap for this. "My family's cutting me off," she confessed. "They found out everything. Dad says I'm a disgrace." Her family owed money from Boston, pillars of conservative society. They'd always pressured her to date men, to uphold the image. I'd seen the toll it took. The late-night tears after forced family dinners. Then why blow it up? I asked, anger bubbling. "You could have let me go." She leaned in, eyes fierce. "Because I love you, Sam. More than the money, more than their approval." Love. The word hung heavy, a double-edged sword. Part of me melted, remembering stolen moments, walks in Central Park during business trips, her hand in mine under the table at dinners. But trust was fractured. "Love isn't enough if it destroys us," I countered. We argued in hushed tones, drawing stares from nearby patrons. "Society isn't kind to people like us," she said. "But hiding forever? That's not living." Her words echoed my own doubts. The years of internalized shame from a Midwestern upbringing where different meant outcast. Yet her actions screamed hypocrisy. She'd hidden us for years, only to expose everything on impulse. As we left, a paparazzo snapped photos from across the street. How? The scandal had hit local tabloids already. @XX's secret lesbian affair derails wedding. My stomach churned. At work the next day, whispers followed me. Colleagues avoided eye contact. HR called me in. "This is awkward, Samantha," the manager said. "But with the publicity, we think it's best if you take some time off." Time off? Felt like a polite firing. Maya fought for me, but the board was conservative, worried about client backlash. "They're dinosaurs," she raged later. "But I'll fix this." Fix it? Nothing could undo the damage. Home alone, I confronted my reflection. Why had I stayed in the shadows so long? Fear of rejection, of losing stability. David had offered that, a facade of normalcy. But now with him gone, the void ached. He texted. I deserved the truth. Guilt twisted like a knife. I'd betrayed him, used him as a shield. Was that the real sin? Not my love for Maya, but the lies it bred? The phone rang. My father. "Come home, Samantha. We can get you help." Help? As if therapy could cure me. Rage surged. "This is who I am, Dad. Accept it or not." I hung up, trembling. The isolation was suffocating. Maya showed up at my door that night, soaked from rain. "I quit," she announced. "The firm, everything. We can start over." Quit. Her career was her identity. For us. I asked, stunned. She nodded, pulling me into an embrace. For a fleeting moment, hope flickered. But doubt lingered. Was this genuine or another impulsive act? We talked through the night, unpacking years of resentment. "I was scared," she admitted. "My parents drilled into me that love like this is wrong." Her vulnerability mirrored mine, forging a fragile bond amid the chaos. Yet the world intruded. Protests from conservative groups targeted the firm, decrying moral decay. Friends distanced themselves, one said. I support you but my kids. The societal backlash was relentless, a mirror to our internal struggles. I questioned every decision. Had loving Maya been worth it? The answer eluded me as tensions escalated. Unbeknownst to us, David was plotting revenge fueled by hurt. He contacted Maya's family, revealing more secrets: old letters, photos. The betrayal cut deep when we learned. How could he? Maya whispered. But I understood his pain. I'd caused it. As the week wore on, we faced a crossroads. Move away. Fight back. Each choice carried weight, potential for more loss. My mind whirled with ethical dilemmas. Was hiding immoral, or self-preservation? In the end, we chose to stand together, but the path ahead loomed treacherous. Little did we know, the worst betrayal was yet to come. From within our own circle. The letter arrived anonymously, slipped under my door like a venomous snake. Inside, photocopies of emails, intimate exchanges between Maya and another woman, dated just months ago. My world tilted. Betrayal's sting was sharper than any societal scorn. Who is she? I demanded when Maya arrived, waving the papers. Her face paled. Confirmation enough. It was nothing, she stammered. A mistake during one of our breaks. Breaks? Our relationship had been a series of pauses enforced by fear, but this was infidelity, a dagger to the heart. We'd been navigating the fallout together, leaning on each other amid the isolation. I'd forgiven her impulsiveness at the wedding, convinced our love could weather the storm. But this revelation shattered that illusion. How long? I pressed, echoes of David's question haunting me. Just once, she lied at first, then crumbled. A few times. I was lonely, Sam. You were planning a wedding. Blaming me? Rage boiled over. I was hiding us for you. I shouted. The argument escalated, words like weapons. You're no better than the hypocrites you hate, I accused. She recoiled, tears flowing. I love you. It meant nothing. But it meant everything. Trust evaporated, leaving a void filled with doubt. Who was this other woman? A colleague? A stranger? My mind conjured images, fueling paranoia. That night, alone, I wrestled with demons. Had our love been real or just convenience? The societal pressures we'd fought suddenly paled against this personal treason. Family rejection, job loss, those I could battle. But betrayal from the one I loved? It eroded my core. The next day, I confronted the unknown. Digging through her phone, a low I'd never stooped to, I found messages. The woman was Elena, a graphic designer at a rival firm. Flirtatious banter, plans for dinners. Jealousy clawed at me. Why her? Was she free or unburdened by secrets? I called Elena, voice steady despite the tremor. Stay away from Maya, I warned. She laughed bitterly. She's the one who pursued me. Said you two were over. Over? The lie burned. Maya begged forgiveness on her knees in my living room. I was weak, she sobbed. The pressure from my family, the hiding. It broke me. Her confession peeled back layers. Childhood repression, forced dates with men, the constant facade. Empathy warred with anger. I'd faced similar, my parents' disapproval, the church's condemnation. But sympathy didn't erase the hurt. We need space, I said, the words tasting like ash. She left, defeated, and the apartment felt emptier than ever. Isolation deepened. Friends, already scarce, vanished completely after the affair rumors spread. One texted, "This is too messy, Sam." Messy? It was my life unraveling. My mother called, sensing vulnerability. Come home. Leave that woman. Temptation flickered, returned to familiarity, pretend it all away. But that would betray myself. No, I had to face the maw. Was forgiveness possible, or was it self-destruction? Weeks blurred into a haze of introspection. I took a temp job at a coffee shop, anonymity a bomb. There, amid steaming lattes, I observed couples, straight, gay, unapologetic. Envy stung. Why couldn't we have that? Maya's calls went unanswered until one desperate voicemail. My family's disowning me for good. I need you. Guilt tugged. Her sacrifices. Quitting her job, facing exile, were they for me or redemption? We met in a park, neutral ground. Autumn leaves crunched underfoot, mirroring our fragile state. I ended it with Elena, she said. I choose you. But choices had consequences. How do I know? I asked. She pulled out a ring, not flashy but sincere. Marry me. Out in the open. The proposal stunned. Marriage? In a world that still debated our rights? Excitement mingled with terror. What about the backlash? She shrugged. We've lost enough hiding. The decision weighed heavy. Accept and risk more pain, reject and lose her forever. Ethical quandaries swirled. Was staying with the cheater weakness or strength? Society whispered the former, but my heart screamed the latter. We tentatively reconciled, but cracks remained. Unbeknownst to Maya, I met Elena secretly. Why her? I asked. She sighed. Maya's magnetic but tormented. She'll hurt you again. The warning echoed, planting seeds of doubt. As we rebuilt, external forces struck. David's lawsuit. Emotional distress, claiming I'd defrauded him. Lawyers circled, dredging up our secrets. This could ruin us financially, Maya worried. The trial loomed, a public spectacle. Witnesses testified to our affair, painting us as deceivers. The judge's gavel felt like judgment on our love. In the midst, my father appeared at court. Unexpected support? No, to plead I come to my senses. Rejection anew. Through it all, our bond tested. Arguments flared over money, trust. You cheated because of me, I accused once. No, she retorted. Because of us, the hiding we both chose. Shared blame? It shifted perspective, forcing accountability. Perhaps the real enemy wasn't each other, but the world that forced us underground. Awakening dawned. Change started with us. Yet as the case dragged, a new twist. Elena testified for David, revealing more. Betrayal layered upon betrayal. Maya's face during cross-examination, shame, regret. I made mistakes, she admitted on stand. The admission, public and raw, was her turning point. Mine too. Forgiveness? Not easy but necessary for healing. The courtroom verdict hit like a thunderclap. David won a modest settlement, but the real damage was reputational. Headlines screamed, "Lesbian love triangle costs at exec everything." We emerged battered, but together. It's over, Maya said outside, squeezing my hand publicly for the first time. Defiance sparked in her eyes, a far cry from the secretive woman I'd known. But scars lingered. That night we argued again. Your affair gave him ammunition, I said. She nodded wearily. I know. But we're free now. Free. With debts mounting and jobs scarce? Rebuilding demanded sacrifices. We moved to a smaller apartment in Brooklyn, away from Chicago's judgmental gaze. New York offered anonymity, a fresh start. I freelanced as a writer, channeling our story into anonymous blogs. Catharsis amid pain. Maya consulted for startups, her creativity undimmed. But intimacy faltered. Trust rebuilt brick by brick. Do you regret us? She asked one sleepless night. No, I lied, then corrected. Sometimes. The hurt. Honesty became our lifeline, exposing vulnerabilities. Family ties strained further. My sister visited, tentative. I miss you, Sam. But Mom. She prays for you. Prays. As if I were diseased. Tell her I'm happy, I said, though doubt crept in. Was I? The societal mirror reflected distortion. Friends' weddings we skipped, fearing awkwardness. Job interviews where my scandals surfaced. Internal conflict raged. Pride in our love versus the exhaustion of constant defense. Maya's family escalated. Her brother called venomous. You're dead to us. And that woman, she's poison. The disinheritance was final, a financial blow. She hid the pain, but I saw it in her quiet moments. Was it worth it? I wondered aloud. For you? Yes. Her resolve inspired, but guilt gnawed. Had my indecision prolonged our suffering? The wedding plan. I'd pushed it, seeking normalcy. A turning point came via an unexpected ally. A support group for LGBTQ professionals. Their stories mirrored ours, hidden loves, betrayals, awakenings. One woman shared, "Forgiveness isn't forgetting, it's choosing forward." It resonated. Maya and I attended together, unpacking traumas. I cheated because I felt trapped, she confessed in session. Not an excuse but truth. Understanding bloomed, replacing resentment. Yet challenges persisted. A job offer for Maya in San Francisco prestigious, but relocation meant uprooting. We could marry there, start fresh, she urged. Tempting, but fear held me. What if it falls apart again? The decision tore at me. Stay safe in mediocrity, or risk for potential joy? Ethical debates internally. Loyalty to self versus partner. Society's voice whispered caution. My heart demanded boldness. We debated endlessly. I've paid the price, she said. Lost family career. For us. Her sacrifices loomed large, demanding reciprocity. Okay, I agreed finally. Let's go. Packing unearthed mementos. Old photos with David. Reminders of lost innocence. Burning them felt like closure. In San Francisco, the air felt lighter, the community welcoming. We married quietly in a courthouse. Rings exchanged with trembling hands. Vows. Through betrayals and storms, I choose you. Tears flowed, a mix of joy and sorrow for paths not taken. But post-wedding shadows returned. Maya's ex, Elena, resurfaced via email. Congratulations. But does she know about the others? Others. Panic surged. Confrontation ensued. Is it true? I demanded. Maya denied vehemently. She's lying to hurt us. But seeds of doubt sprouted. Investigation revealed half-truths. Flings during our early years when hiding was hardest. I was confused, she admitted. Testing boundaries. The revelation crushed but context softened. Youthful turmoil, societal repression. No more secrets, she swore. Forgiveness tested anew. A cycle? Awakening deepened. Our love wasn't fairy tale. It was forged in fire, flawed and human. The price? Isolation from families, career setbacks, emotional scars. But gains? Authenticity, resilience. I pondered. Had the betrayals been inevitable products of a judgmental world? Or personal failings? As we settled a final blow, my father's health declined. He wants to see you, my sister said. Reconciliation? I flew back heart heavy. At his bedside, words tumbled. I was wrong, Samantha. Love is love. Tears bridged years of divide. But too late? He passed soon after, leaving regret. Returning to Maya, I shared the pain. We can't change the past, she said. But we can honor it by living truthfully. Her wisdom grounded me. Yet questions lingered. Was our path righteous or reckless? The stories told, damages paid. Relationships severed begged reflection. In quiet moments I wrote our tale, anonymized, sparking online debates. Readers argued. Secrets destroy or protect? Our journey embodied both. Life in San Francisco unfolded with tentative peace. Our small apartment overlooked the bay. A symbol of new horizons. Maya thrived in her role, creativity flowing unhindered. I published articles on LGBTQ experiences, turning pain into purpose. But echoes of the past reverberated. Random encounters, a former colleague's judgmental glance at a conference, reminded us of scars. Internally, I battled residual distrust. Do you ever think of Elena? I asked, once vulnerability raw. No, she replied firmly. You're my everything. Reassurance helped, but healing was nonlinear. Family mending progressed slowly. My sister reached out more, sharing photos of nieces. They asked about Aunt Sam. Warmth pierced the chill. Maya's side remained frosty. Her mother's occasional card carried veiled disapproval. Praying for your soul. The words ignited old rage, but Maya shrugged. Their loss. Her detachment inspired. She'd paid dearly for freedom. Societal shifts offered hope. Pride events we attended, hand in hand, felt empowering. Yet backlash persisted, online trolls, conservative policies threatening rights. Our story became a microcosm. Love's triumph amid adversity. But at what cost? Friends we'd lost, opportunities foregone. Ethical quandaries haunted. Had we been selfish, prioritizing passion over others' feelings? David's pain, my family's grief, collateral damage. A pivotal moment. An invitation to speak at a TEDx event on hidden lives. The cost of authenticity. Preparing, I delved deep. We hid because society demanded it, I rehearsed. But exposure brought destruction and rebirth. Maya supported, but nerves frayed. On stage, words flowed. Betrayals detailed, awakenings shared. Audience reactions varied, applause, tears, some walkouts. Afterward, a young woman approached. Your story saved me from a loveless marriage. Impact rippled, validating our trials. Yet personal tolls mounted. Health issues arose. Stress-induced anxiety for me, depression for Maya. Therapy helped unpack. You both chose love over convention, the counselor said. But choices have prices. True. We traded security for truth. A bargain debated endlessly. One evening over wine we reflected. Regrets? She asked. The lies, yes. The love, no. Agreement sealed with a kiss, boundaries respected. Our relationship evolved deeper, more honest. No more shadows. But fate twisted again. News of David's remarriage arrived via mutual friends. Happiness for him? Relief mingled with guilt. I hope he's okay, I said. Maya nodded. We all deserved better. Closure finally. As years passed, no keeping to present arc, our bond solidified. We adopted a dog, symbolizing commitment. Community grew, new friends, allies. Yet internal monologues persisted. Was the drama necessary or avoidable? Had we fueled stereotypes or challenged them? In quiet reflection, I acknowledged the multifaceted truth. Our journey encompassed betrayal's sting, sacrifices weight, awakening's light. No heroes or villains, just humans navigating a flawed world. The story closes not with resolution but question. In a society that forces secrets, are the resulting betrayals inevitable, or choices we must own? Was hiding a moral failing or survival? These dilemmas linger, inviting debate. Was Samantha justified in forgiving Maya's betrayals, proving that love conquers all? Or did her choices demonstrate that some wounds should end relationships forever?